Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now today I'm going to be going over something that I have been getting a lot of requests for, and that is to go over some budget content and some rogue content. A lot of people are interested in the game but either don't have the funds or aren't willing to put that full amount of investment in to get these tier 1 meta decks. That's understandable. If you don't have that much time to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And only get to play maybe an hour or two a week, then spending $700 on a deck seems like a poor use of your money, even if you can afford it. So I'm going to show you guys a deck that I think is very cool, very unique, and also very cheap right now. Before I continue, I want to give a huge shout out to Vlad, or Hypnocorn, who gave me the idea to explore this deck. And actually, this deck is super cool, and it's something I would have never looked at unless he had brought my attention to it. So again, huge shout out to him. And then I'd also like to ask you guys, if you enjoy this type of content, to please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And leave a comment down below on what you enjoyed, if you have any feedback, and if you want to see more of this type of content in the future. Maybe even some series about going around these type of budget decks. Okay, so let's show you guys the deck. So, I mean, you guys saw the thumbnail. I'm sure you saw what deck it was. It is Ninjas. So this one is probably obscure to most players here, so I'm going to have to read everything. And don't worry, I will try and make this as clear as possible. This deck's playstyle is extremely unique, so if you aren't a fan of just playing the normal summon a monster and pass and want something a little more complex but still not like expensive, this is fantastic. I have chosen to omit prosperities from this deck, even though it's something you likely would include for the sake of keeping a budget. But other than that, the rest of it is dirt cheap, and it's just a couple of hand traps that aren't as expensive, and then your ninja cards, which again, very reasonable. I'm gonna only read the ninja cards for now. We got Baku, the Beast Ninja. So this card is added to your hand, except by drawing it, you can special summon it. This card is flip face up or special summon. You can target a ninja or Ninjutsu Art in your grave and add it to your hand. Or face spell trap cards now, which is important too, but mostly the grave. We play 2 of this because we want to often use a second one for some resource gain later in the game. But most of the time, this deck will special summon stuff pretty easily from the deck, so most stuff is accessible all the time, which is why you see 3 one of ninjas here. Green Ninja. If monster special summoned except during the damage step, you can target one of them, special summon this card, and change that monster to face down. Which is fine for this deck. You'll see why when we get to the fusion monsters. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the grave, you try to face a monster and change it to face or face down. What we're doing with this is we can fuse on our opponent's turn, and when this card goes to the grave with the fusion, you can book a moon. So we're going to be summoning this from our deck on our opponent's turn, ignoring the hand effects, although we can sometimes use it, and then just getting a book out of it, which is good interruption. Book a moon type effects are really strong against Cost Tier Up, so we're expecting that to be a strong part of or a big part of our metagame. Online with that, we got Yugioh, the Weighted Ninja, a brand new one from Kotton Hypernova that gives this deck a little more defensive tools. So it is level 8, so it is something that will only be special summoning really. If this card is normal or special summoned or flip face up, target up to 2 guys on the field and flip them face down. More in line with what I was talking about there, setting guys disruption. And as I said, we summon this from our deck during our opponent's turn, so we will be able to book 2 and then book with this as well. So that we see we got multiple books on our opponent's turn already, which is fantastic with an engine. Very hard for a lot of decks to clear this. Opponent's monster shares effect cannot be flip face up, not change the battle position. This is important because it means you can just let things sit there. And this is really cool, and you'll see when we get to one of the fusion monsters. If another monster in the field is flip face up while this guy is face up on the field, you can target a card your opponent controls and destroy it, which is nice because it means if we get to some really crazy combos, you can pop a card as well and go. So you just have a lot of disruption. A lot more than you would think when it comes to ninjas. Kagero, the Can Ninja. This card is normal summoned, special summoned or flip face up, target ninja in your hand or grave. It doesn't target, that's important. It doesn't target. I can special summon 1 ninja from your hand or grave and face down defense. Again, the face down doesn't matter because of our fusion monsters. You can fuse the face downs. Yeah, this is a decent extender. Starting with it's fine because you can still fuse in the first turn by summoning from your hand. And summoning from the deck is cool as well. I'm only playing 1 because by itself it's not great. And its higher level isn't fantastic for summoning from the deck like the Tabari is per se, but you can play more. If you want to have more ninjas, that's fine. I just didn't want to clog on too many of them. I did want to have some non-engine cards with them. It has another effect though. When your opponent activates a card effect that targets exactly 1 ninja card or 1 face down defense monster you control while this guy's in your grave, you can quick effect special summon this card and face down defense and return that targeted card to the hand. It doesn't get banished afterwards, so this is something you can keep doing over and over again, and it's super sick because you just got to constantly recycle resources with these type of effects, you know, the Baku and the Kagero. So you don't need to overdo these. These are both fill very similar purposes. So I figured this is a fine level. You want lower levels because of this card, unless you're just passing with it in play, but I'm trying to not do that. But yeah, this card's pretty good. Next up we got Mitsu, the ultra rare that everyone complained about pulling from Darkwing Blast, but complain no longer. Even though it's worthless, it is now in your deck. You control a ninja card or a face-down defense monster special from your hand, and then when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can quick effect target a face-down defense monster you control, change it to face-up defense, then change this card face down. And if the targeted monster was a ninja monster, except Mitsu, negate the opponent's activated effect. So it only negates monsters, but it still is just a nice negate and an extender, so that's a good thing to play. 21 defense means they can just really swing over first. Yeah, it's nice to stopping monster effects, and again, face down monsters go in line with what you want, and you get flip effects too off these guys, so you're really not concerned about that. Next up, we got Hanzo. He's one of the old ones. Not even one of the old ones, but one that's pretty old, about 10 years at this point. When it's normal summon, add a Ninjutsu Art card next to your hand. Fantastic, those cards are broken. And when it's flip summoned or special summoned, add a ninja monster, which is also good, and you can use this a good amount of times. Note that it's not once per turn, so if you summon multiple of these in a turn, you get multiple triggers. There are combo versions of this deck that play like Dugaris, Cross Sheep, which I play too, I guess, but a lot of ways to summon Hanzo over and over and over again. And while that's cool, it's unnecessary. I think just ending with the trap setups and the fusion setups is safer and less bricky and pretty much maybe even better. Yeah, I just think the in-engine cards are good enough. You don't need to rely on these like Appaloosa Dweller type cards. Even if I do play Appaloosa, it's not that crazy. Next up, we got Tabari. This one's level 1, and it cannot be destroyed by battle or card effect at the turn of special summoned or flip face up, which is fine. You only use each of the effects once per turn. Send them from your hand to the grave, special ninja from your hand in face up or face down defense. This matters because if you draw this plus this, you can discard the special, and this will add it back. And then you can normal summon it and fuse. If your opponent's main or battle phase quick effect, you can fusion summon a ninja reaction deck using guys in your hand or field. So if you have two guys that can't summon themselves, you can just normal it, pass, and make a fusion on your opponent's turn. That's fine as well. So those are your ninja monsters. You don't need that many of them to get going, because once you get going, they all get themselves pretty easily from your deck. And too many is cloggy, because after a while they stop being efficient in terms of how much value you get out of them. Next up, we got Ninjutsu Art Notebook of Mystery. So this one is really good, but also kind of bad because it requires the opponent to control a card to activate. But it's so strong that it's worth playing, and because it's a quick play, you can set it and still use it as a trap. Not the best trap, but a trap. What it does is if your opponent controls a card, you can set up to one ninja and one Ninjutsu Art spell trap, except itself. And then one has to come from your deck and one from the grave. If you only want to set one, you can just set one from your deck and ignore the grave. So it's not like you have to activate one with one in the grave, but you can get both if you want, which is, you know, +1, and that gets 2 cards of your choice, like a double rota. That's nuts. And yeah, I mean that's the main reason you play. But also, if this card is set, if this set card is sent to from the field to the grave, try to face the monster and flip the face down. Cool. Bonus effect. Yeah, this card is nice. It gets you your really good ninjas and Ninjutsu Arts. We also got Ninjutsu Arts Iron Digger. I believe this one is also new, and the equip monster gets 500 attack and also treated as a ninja. This is cool, where like if you draw this and you have a Nibiru or a Nibiru token on your field, you can turn it into a ninja. But that's not why you play it. Once per turn, you can banish ninja from your grave to target a card on the field, destroy. That is also cool, but the main reason you play it is the next effect as well. That is, if it's sent from the field to the grave, target one of your banished ninjas and add it to your hand, or special it face down. Very strong. You can add back any of these guys so they get banished. You don't have to worry about it. Like if they Mirror Jade banish Yugioh, you don't care. You'll get it back. And then also you get a pop cards. Use it for extension as well. This card is just very strong, and it's a great searchable card to have off of Hanzo or off of the art book or off of Saizo. That's with the 2 traps that I think are the best ones worth playing. A lot of people don't play 3 of these, but I think these cards are fantastic, and I don't want to have to rely to search these. I just want to draw them, and they're not terrible going second either. So yeah. Ninjutsu Art of the Dancing Leaf. Activate by targeting a ninja monster or one face down ninjutsu monster in the field. This is the cost, so if you ash it, you don't have to get rid of the monster. Tribute it if you do special a ninja from your deck. You can also target your opponent's monsters that are booked, which is nice if you're going to be flipping their stuff face down. Also, this combos with Book of Moon. So if you open a Book of Moon plus this Uden Brick, set 2, you're good. So you can special summon the guy that fuses on their turns. You special summon the negate. You special summon the one that books 2 of their guys, or you can summon this to get some more resources going. This one adds from grave, this one adds from deck, this one specials from hand or grave. The other effect is when this card leaves the field. Yeah, when this card leaves the field, send that monster. Fine. Other effect is you can target a Ninjutsu Art continuous spell trap in your spell trap card zone and return it to your hand. When the monster it's summoned dies, this one stays. And then on the next turn, you can add it back. You can only use one effect per turn, so you can't use both effects in the same turn, but that's fine. It pretty much just means, though, that you can keep adding it back to your hand and using it over and over again. You know, a traditional continuous card, not like the old Ninjutsu Arts. That value is really, really solid. Yeah, definitely a great card for this deck. Like, you get a lot of disruption off it. And in a similar vein is Ninjutsu Art of Duplication. Tribute a ninja monster for cost. This one is worse versus Ash, but it's fine. In fact, I'd probably put Call by the Grave maybe because of that, but I decided not to because I figured it was bad versus Kashtira. Special summon any number of ninjas from your deck in face up, attack, or face down defense, which is fantastic. Exactly the type of options you want. You can summon like a guy face down and then a Mitsu to negate. And you can find especially any number whose combined levels is less than or equal to the level of the attributed monster. So if you attributed 8, you can summon like 5 from the deck, or not that many, but I mean, you can summon 5. It won't be a good 5, but you can summon a bunch from the deck. But even if you just attribute level 6, you can summon a bunch from your deck and you get a lot going. So what I mean by attributing level 6, well, we got Maizen. If you notice here, we have no fusion spells. We only have Tabari. Well, these guys both can be special summoned by attributing the monsters from the field. And because these are contact fusions, like a Gladiator Beast or a, I don't even know what it's like a Chimera Tech, you can fuse them when they're face down. So now you setting monsters doesn't matter. Their book effects, like Book of Eclipse, are a lot worse against you. Your ninja monsters can attack directly. So remember when I said when you book their guys permanently, it's a good thing because you can choose not to deal with it? Well, yeah, because you can clog their zones and just keep going directly. And this is great because you can set up some easy kills. So you have 2-turn clocks or sometimes 3-turn, but you have enough control resources that that's fine. Also, you control face down monster. This guy can't be targeted for an attack, which is fine. It's 25. That's not really that big of an issue, but it's nice to have. The real reason you play this card, though, is when your opponent activates a card or effect, special ninja from your deck in face up or face down defense. Fantastic. You get the Book of Moon, you get a quick fusion, get a Mitsu, you can get one of the guys to add back. Again, whatever you want. This deck has a lot of ways to summon from the deck, and that's what's really cool. What kind of lacked before folks in Hypernova with Yugioh and a couple of the other cards was disruption. Yugioh gives it some disruption. This gives it a little more disruption with the quick fusion. And what also gets you a little more disruption is the next card, the new fusion, which is not actually OCG, it's coming out. It came on folks in Hypernova, is Yagurumaru, the Armored Ninja. So again, 2 ninjas, easy to do, can be contact fused by attributing, which is easy enough. If it's special summoned or flip face up, you can banish one other ninja or Ninjutsu Art from your hand, grave, face up field. Love when a card is super flexible like that. Then target a card on the field and banish it. It does target, but banishing is still a fantastic form of removal. And you can do this on your opponent's turn because it's Tabari. The effect of quick fuse on your opponent's turn, fusing with this. So on summon, you go book 1 and banish 1. This deals with 2, this deals with 2. You have a negate. That's a lot of interruption right there for something with relatively low commitment, right? Because you're just using these traps and whatever, and the Maizen is summoned from the deck. The only other ninjas here, Blade Armor Ninja, another old one, lets you attack twice with a ninja. So you can make this guy just attack twice directly, and that gets some nice kill shots in. And then Saizo lets you set a Ninjutsu Art from your deck as well, so you can do cool stuff with it, and then you can fuse off later if you have enough extenders. You can play Cross Sheet because if you summon a fusion, you can bring back any of your dudes and get some nice pluses. And the rest is just staples. I'm playing Lingaribo to beat Ibli, but yeah. So this deck's Despia deck is not the best because pretty much whatever your worst matchup is going to be is stuff that Book of Moon type effects aren't the best against. So against Despia, you may want to side some other stuff, or if Despia's popular enough, you may main them. And that is you can play Ninjutsu Art of Transformation by attributing a face-up ninja monster, special a beast, a winged beast, or insect whose level is less than or equal to the attributed monster plus 3. You can summon Scary Moth. Or you can use this one, which targets an ninja you control and a face-up monster opponent controls. Send them to the grave, special a dragon, dino, or sea serpent from your deck. Level is less than or equal to level of the combined levels. And you can summon Quackmere Drago. I like this one better because I think this card's just a better card. And like if you want to main deck it, this is not even that bad of a commitment. And you can summon other stuff as well. Dragon, Dinosaur, Sea Serpent. I don't know if this version plays any of those. I don't remember the types too well. It does not. But you could very easily play other cards that fit these requirements as well. I just figure this is probably the best for shutting off Despia type decks or even Charlements. And that's a very easy fix. That's 2 cards in the main that could very easily be like maybe swap out the books. But again, you may want to decide yourself. What I like about this is that you can link it off really easy and then just keep going for the kill shot right afterwards. So I hope this was fairly informative. I will show you guys, I guess, 1 or 2 quick solo hands to kind of get the feel of what I'm talking about here. So yeah, this hand is fine. We go first, we set 2, we pass. They summon something, we can book, we can veil it, whatever. Say we don't need to use these yet because it's going to be helpful. They summon a Kashtira monster, book. Now if they threaten to extend, we can tribute their face down monster, which is cool. And we can summon a couple things. Say we want to summon this, Yugioh, or summon a Green Ninja. And then we can quick fuse with Tabari, and we can summon Maizen. And we can book another card. Now, let's say they will have another extender. We can go effect, chain to one of their effects special. They summon their dude, and then we get in the same chain this guy out. New chain, effect to book. And then you have 2 veilers as well. So you had 3 Book of Moons there. You got the send a card. They should be fairly low on cards. This locks their stuff. You draw for turn. This is also requiring a lot. Now, if they disrupt us at any point, you can use his effect to special from the deck again. And his effect bounces to hand, so you can reset it. It means to click that, but it's fine. Attack directly, clean up the guys. Remember, whatever we booked off this can't flip up again. If they use anything, we can use this effect, special from deck, being special like a Hanzo to add, Kagero to special back face down. This can flip something up. This can tribute their monster, special summon from the deck, and this will trigger again if a monster is flip face up. You can actually leave the monster they set as well, because for flip face up you can pop it, but then you use that effect. Yeah, your options are just pretty easy, right? You have plenty to go off of here. Like, that hand wasn't bad. This deck does deceivingly more than you think with very few cards. Like here you can go normal, special, and then you don't need to keep this on field. You can just fuse. Now again, you can special from deck, and this can special from deck as well. So you're going to have a bunch of negates. You can book, you can Mitsu, you can book again, and you can also use Tabari on their turn to summon this, banish a card, so you have plenty of interrupts. What's nice as well is Nibiru special summons by tributing all guys in the field, but it only tributes face up. So when you have all you guys face down, it'll keep them on the field, which is nice. So if you intentionally keep that in mind when setting up your field and summoning it face down, you get a lot of advantage and set up very easy kill shots. I hope you guys understand it from that. This deck does have a lot going on, and I don't think me showing more would really give you guys the full idea. Like again here, I can normal this, and I can use this when they play a card to set one face down, so this negates live, or I can then tribute to special bunch from the deck, also the Nibiru and the Ash live. It's flexible. But yeah, it's hard to like, it took me a while to understand what was going on with the deck. Just looking at it wasn't enough. So I recommend you guys try it out, and it's so easy and cheap to just build that I feel it is 100% worth it. This deck is such a cool and unique and cheap deck right now that I really think may have potential. So urge you guys to go check it out. And yeah, before I sign off, I'd like to ask you guys to go check out tsx1.com, where you can use the code potato10 for 10% off on all your sleeves. These are sleeves that I use, and we're getting the discount code, so it stays in line with that budget opportunity we're looking for right here. And I guess that's all. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.